So guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Sumit and you're watching Being Rider Z. So once again I'm here with a new vlog for this Xpulse Pro and I'm going to give you a review as I have crossed 3500 plus kilometers on this bike, and I just wanted to share my experience. How was it with this bike? So basically I have traveled to my hometown this time, and I did Ayodhya, I did Prayagraj as well, and I'm in my lovely hometown, which is in Rae Bareli, Uttar Pradesh. So I thought to give you another review of this bike so that whoever is looking to buy this bike in the future, or maybe who already have got this bike, so they can make good use of this video. And so let's begin. So this bike is the Hero Xpulse 200 4V Pro. So basically this is the top model for the Xpulse. जो भी existing version है उसमें एक normal version आता है, and then comes the Pro version, and this is the Pro version. Cost बता देता हूँ आपको. So the normal Xpulse costs you around 1,47,000 rupees ex-showroom, and this one costs you around 1,54,000. इसमें एक और मॉडल आया है जो कि Dakar edition है, and that will again cost you 1,64,000 rupees ex-showroom price. Right now I have ridden it for almost 3,500 plus kilometers, जो कि भैया अपने आप में ही एक बहुत बड़ी बात है, राइट? बिकॉज मैंने ये परचेज करी सिर्फ टूरिंग के पर्पज़ के लिए एंड ऑफ रोडिंग पर्पज़ के लिए, बट दिस इज़ ऑल्सो अ डुअल स्पोर्ट मोटरसाइकिल, विच मीन्स कि आप इस पर डेली कम्यूट भी कर सकते हो एंड आप इस पर ऑफ रोडिंग भी कर सकते हो. तो सबसे पहले भैया बात कर लेते हैं इसके इंजन की. सो इंजन इज़ अ 200cc 4 valve ऑयल कूल्ड इंजन. इसके अंदर लिक्विड कूलिंग नहीं आती. सो बेसिकली दिस इंजन इज़ एन ऑयल कूल्ड वन. तो ऑयल कूलिंग होती है, एंड दिस इंजन प्रोड्यूसेस अराउंड 18 हॉर्स पावर, एंड टॉर्क फिगर्स आई डोंट नो, बट टॉर्क इज़ गुड, एम्पल टॉर्क इज़ देयर. देन ये तो हो गया आपका इंजन. उसके बाद भैया बात कर लेते हैं इसके टायर्स. सबसे पहली चीज़, फ्रंट टायर जो है 21 इंच का आता है, एंड दिस इज़ अ स्पोक्ड व्हील. रियर टायर कम्स 18 इंचेस, अगेन स्पोक्ड व्हील, एंड ABS इसके अंदर आता है भैया, सिंगल चैनल ABS है, पीछे ABS नहीं आता. एंड देन इसके बात करते हैं भैया फ्यूल टैंक की. फ्यूल टैंक इज़ ऑलमोस्ट 13 लीटर्स. एंड अब भैया इसकी बात कर लेते हैं इसका जिस चीज़ के लिए एक्चुअली ये मशहूर है. तो दिस इज़ द ह्यूमंगस ग्राउंड क्लियरेंस विच यू कुड सी डाउन एट द बॉटम. मेरा पैर है यहाँ पे, नीचे देख पा रहे होगे आप. तो दिस इज़ 270 mm ऑफ ग्राउंड क्लियरेंस. एंड गाइज आप लोग नेट पे सर्च कर सकते हो, यू विल ओनली फाइंड दिस बाइक विद दिस पर्टिकुलर ग्राउंड क्लियरेंस. इससे ज़्यादा भाई साहब मुझे नहीं लगता कि किसी और बाइक की ग्राउंड क्लियरेंस है, इर्रिस्पेक्टिव कि वो कोई सुपर बाइक है या फिर वो सुपर बाइक नहीं है. इफ़ आई एम रॉन्ग देन डू कमेंट इन द कमेंट सेक्शन कि भैया कौन सी ऐसी बाइक है जिसकी ग्राउंड क्लियरेंस इज़ 270 mm. ये तो हो गई इसकी ग्राउंड क्लियरेंस. इसके बाद बात करते हैं इसका सस्पेंशन ट्रैवल. तो जो फ्रंट सस्पेंशन है that has got 250 millimeters of travel at the front, and the rear one has got I think 210 mm of suspension travel. The rear suspension is not adjustable, it is just preload and rebound, that's it. But the front one is fully adjustable. Basically you can set this front suspension from road to rock or gravel and then to desert suspension. So ये फीचर है जो कि इसकी एक ख़ास बात और है. अब बात करते हैं हेडलाइट वगैरह. तो देखो इसकी मैं कहूँगा यार ठीक है, ज़्यादा अच्छी नहीं है, मतलब इट इज़ नॉट गुड फॉर ट्रैवलिंग. इफ़ यू आर ट्रैवलिंग एट नाइट आई वोंट रिकमेंड. भैया इसमें फॉग लाइट लगवानी पड़ेगी आपको. तो अब बात करते हैं भैया इसके रिव्यू की, जो मेन इसका टॉपिक है इस वीडियो का. ये जो बाइक है मैंने चला दी है 3,500 प्लस किलोमीटर्स. अब इसके अंदर मैं आपको बताऊंगा कि मेरा खुद का एक्सपीरियंस क्या रहा एंड ये बाइक ने कैसा परफॉर्म किया. सबसे पहले जो मैंने इसका 500 किलोमीटर का रिव्यू दिया था, वो अगर आप लोगों ने नहीं देखा है तो जाके भैया देख लेना, काफ़ी अच्छा है, राइट? एंड काफ़ी हेल्पफुल होगा जो भी लोग Xpulse को परचेज़ करने वाले हैं, तो उनके लिए वीडियो खास तौर पे बना रहा हूँ मैं. सो ये बाइक परफॉर्म कैसा करती है. सबसे पहले भैया इंजन को लेके चलते हैं. तो मैंने इस पे फर्स्ट जो मेरा लॉन्ग रोड ट्रिप था वो था मेरे गांव का, एंड अभी भी मैं अपने गांव में ही हूँ. सो इट हैज़ बीन लाइक 3 months व्हेन आई traveled first to my hometown, and this is the second time I'm traveling to my hometown on the same bike. So पहला एक्सपीरियंस कुछ और था, इस बार का एक्सपीरियंस कुछ और है. तो डिफरेंस कहाँ पे आता है? डिफरेंस यहाँ है कि पहले मैं आया एज अ सिंगल पर्सन, देन नाउ दिस टाइम आई केम विद अ पिलियन राइडर. There is a lot of difference which I have to discuss. So जब भी आप लंबा ट्रैवल करोगे इस बाइक पे, जैसे मैंने लंबा ट्रैवल किया, देन फर्स्ट टाइम जो इसकी माइलेज आई, तो माइलेज वाज अराउंड 45 किलोमीटर्स पर लीटर, एंड दिस बाइक एक्चुअली कैन गो more than 450 kilometers in a single tank, because at that point of time सिर्फ मैंने आई थिंक 11 समथिंग लीटर्स मैंने डलवाया था पेट्रोल, जो कि जब फ्यूल भरते हो उसके बाद जब कट लग जाता है उसके बाद भी मैंने 1.5 लीटर उसमें एक्स्ट्रा डलवा लिया था. सो अराउंड 9.6 लीटर्स का पहले पेट्रोल आया इसके अंदर. देन आफ्टर दैट इट वाज लाइक 1.5 लीटर और. तो एवरेज जो इसकी आई विच वाज 45 किलोमीटर्स पर लीटर, ओके, व्हेन आई वाज ट्रैवलिंग फ्रॉम माय होम टाउन टू दिल्ली. तो एक तो हो गया ये. पिकअप में कैसा था, तो एज नॉर्मल पिकअप वाज गुड, and I had a luggage at the back. The travel bag pickup was very good. आपको मतलब पता नहीं होगा कि that you are carrying a travel bag and the bike is stressing itself to accelerate. But now there comes the difference when you are carrying your luggage as well and the pillion as well. So weight काफ़ी बढ़ गया. Then उसके अंदर अब आपको मैं बता देता हूँ, मैंने अगेन 600 किलोमीटर्स ट्रैवल किया. माई माइलेज केम डाउन टू 36 किलोमीटर्स पर लीटर. सो इट्स अ 9 किलोमीटर पर लीटर डिफरेंस. सो दिस इज द डिफरेंस. सो इफ यू आर ऑल्सो प्लानिंग टू बाय दिस मोटरसाइकिल फॉर टूरिंग पर्पज विद योर विद अ पिलियन, be it your girlfriend or be it your wife or be it your friend, be it anyone, you have to make up your mind that you'll have to compromise on the mileage of this bike, and that too when you're riding at 70 to 80 kilometers per hour. Then only this bike will give you this particular mileage. If you're traveling single, then 70 to 80 kilometers per hour, and again with a pillion 70 to 80 kilometers per hour. If you take this bike for up to 110 kilometers per hour or maybe 100 kilometers per hour, then the mileage will definitely get reduced to around 36 on single, and maybe 28 or maybe 25 when you are riding with a pillion. So ये तो था इसका भैया माइलेज का, ओके, क्योंकि this is the main thing which every buyer is concerned of, how much mileage this bike is going to give. Now second thing which I'm going to talk about is the handling. Now this bike is basically tuned in such a way, handling in terms of when you are riding this bike on a highway and doing off-road. So this bike handles very well. However, you have to be very much cautious when you are riding it with a pillion or you have got weight at the back. The reason being that it is a soft suspension at the back and the front suspension is a little bit stiff at the front. So what happens is when you sit at the back, when you sit on this bike, the suspension, see, I will just a little bit push and see how soft it is. I'm not even applying 10 kilograms of my force. So this is how soft it is. And so when you sit on this bike just goes down like the air suspension. So what happens is this particular part becomes very light, and when you are suddenly like doing this on the bike, in case if you have to do it, the front may it may disbalance your bike and you may have a fall. So this is something which I'm very concerned about, and so I have to be very careful around such situations when this happens. I have to sit a little bit in front so that the weight distribution is almost like this, because most of the weight is at the back but the front side is very light. Now on the highway this bike feels very comfortable and the handling is very good, to be very honest. Okay, this is my honest opinion on this bike's handling, even with the pillion and even when I'm riding solo. But the thing is that you have to make sure that you have got the tire pressure right, both in front and the rear. So what I use is, I use 35 at the back and 30 in the front. That is how I commute. Now coming on to the height, of course, because that is why this bike is famous for its height. So basically this I think the seat height is 890 mm, or I'm not exactly sure about this, but it is around 895 mm. So with the 270 mm of ground clearance and 895 mm of the seat height, the total height from the ground till here, see, I'm 5'10", and see how it looks like. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see my feet. So this is how it looks. So I can just ride this bike in this way, and I can keep my foot above the ground. So still there is this much of gap between the ground and my foot. Okay, coming back to the original position. Now talking about the mirrors of this bike, the mirrors are very good. You can see the full picture, not exactly the full, but the visibility is good in those mirrors. The stock mirrors are very good, to be very honest, even with the pillion and even with the solo. These were few things which you can normally get. Now let's talk about when you're off-roading. So when it comes to off-roading, this bike is a desi tractor. I'm going to tell you the reason why. The front suspension, as it is a fully adjustable one, what you can do is you can set this bike to the off-road suspension, so the suspension becomes very soft. So it is basically, I think, 7 clicks anti-clockwise. Okay, 7 clicks. When you do 20 clicks clockwise, this bike goes to the road setting, to the road conditions. And when you do 7 clicks from the road setting, then you do 7 clicks towards the left anti-clockwise, and then the suspension becomes softer. And if you want to do it furthermore, then you can do like 10 clicks. Do not go to the -20 setting, because you won't be able to handle this bike properly. I've tried that. So doing off-roading, this bike balances very well. Bike balance बहुत अच्छा है इस बाइक का, and to be honest, आप गिरोगे नहीं भैया इस बाइक से. Now you can see it in the clip that how smoothly this bike is traveling from the rural road conditions. So ये मैं अपने गांव में ये बाइक इसीलिए लेके आया ताकि मैं इसको properly test कर सकूं. So you could see it in the video that how this bike is crossing the road and is going through the unpaved road. So this road is basically made up of bricks, and you can see that how big the potholes are, and this bike is smoothly going over them. No matter what kind of a pothole it faces, this bike just goes like butter. And yes, depends what suspension setting you are on. So this is why I call it a desi tractor. And honestly, the suspension is so good that you can just without the second thought, you can simply just take this bike at 50 to 70 kilometers an hour on the road itself. I mean on the off-road itself. And this bike is not going to sweat a single bit. This is how good it is. And now coming on to the problems which I have faced on this bike. So the only thing which everybody should be concerned about, irrespective if it is this bike or if it is any other bike like Kawasaki KLX 230 or any other off-road bike, whichever you have, and if that bike has got spooked. What happened with me is that I took this bike for a long trip to my hometown, and I felt that the front wheel is wobbling like this. So I thought that this may be some problem with the handle, or maybe the triple clamp, or maybe the cone set, but I was wrong. So I did, I came back home and I got to the service station, and so basically the service station people, they were not able to find out what fault it has got, but eventually the fault was with the spokes. So the spokes got loose, and due to which the bike was wobbling a lot. So I got them fixed, and now the bike is not wobbling. So this is something which everybody must be very cautious around, that whenever your bike is wobbling, make sure that your front tire has got ample tire pressure, and nothing is bent like the spokes or the disc mounting, it is not bent. And the third thing is that your spokes should not be loose. So this is something which I just wanted to tell you, that so even if you are an existing Xpulse owner, or if you are planning to buy the Xpulse, maybe 210 or maybe this one, the same model this year. So this was my opinion on this bike, and I am truly happy that I am a proud owner of this Xpulse 204V Pro, because I do not have to think what kind of road I have to travel. This bike just eats the roads, as simple as that, irrespective of the road condition, irrespective it is gravel, it is dirt, or it is concrete. This bike doesn't care. So this is all about the bike and my experience. So guys, if you have not subscribed to the channel, do subscribe it, and do comment your opinions on this bike if you already have got it, or maybe if you have got any questions, then do post it in the comment section. I'll be there to answer. So thank you so much guys, and if you have not subscribed to the channel, do subscribe it and keep sharing, keep loving. तब तक के लिए भाई लोग, जय श्री राम, मिलते हैं।